Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Candid show. You're listening to the podcast hosted by myself, Krishna and Shriram. So, this is the second episode in the Unsolved Mysteries format. And those who don't know what is about this episode, in this episode, we are going to discuss about various mysteries that have happened in the world and that doesn't have a proper explanation of its happenings.
So today's mystery is about the 2009 disappearance of the Jamison family, which consisted of Bobby, Sherilyn, and the 6-year-old daughter Madison, and it captured a lot of media's attention, and a lot of public were also drew upon the story because since the story had a very weird backstory and no very solid evidences were found on the story as well. So Krishna, why don't you start off by giving us the story of what actually happened?
Yeah, this incident happened in the year 2009 in October 8, and the Jamison family lived in the town of Eufaula of Oklahoma, some 30 miles from where their bodies were found in an area of San Boys mountain range called Red Oak.
So on October 8 of 2009, the Jamison family actually loaded up their pickup truck and they headed into the mountains. After that, they were never seen again. It is basically for the fact that they needed to buy a new house, or rather, they just wanted to move into the mountains to get some peace of mind. So that's where they were last seen on. After that, they were never seen alive again.
When the Jamisons weren't heard for several days, a search for the family began in earnest. After 8 days of hunting their whereabouts, the police located the family's truck, and that's when things started to get weird.
So the truck actually ended up in Latimer County, which was actually about an hour drive from the Jamisons' home.
The family and friends were stunned by the large amount of cash found in the truck, as both Bobby and Sherlin were on disability at the time of their disappearance. Where the money came from is a mystery, and some suggest the cash was the result of the couple's involvement in a drug dealing. However, those who knew Bobby and Sherlin struggled to accept that the couple would have brought their young daughter with them to conduct a drug deal.
So Bobby and Sherilyn's phones, their wallets, and their dog, also a malnourished dog, were found in the truck. And along with this, they also found a GPS map and also $32,000 worth. And the truck was also in very good condition, which indicated the fact that there was not any kind of an accident, and the truck was in perfectly good condition, which indicates that they weren't actually being disabled in the process.
It would not be until November 16, 2013 that the Jamisons themselves were found. On that day, just 3 miles from where the truck was located, hunters discovered the skeletal remains of the 2 adults and 1 child. Forensic testing confirmed that the remains belonged to Bobby Sherlin and Madison Jamison.
So, to give a brief backstory of the family, we know that Bobby and Jamison's family were very eager to get away from their lives, or rather, their marriage life was not exactly good, and they wanted to start over in the mountains.
Sherlin suffered from bipolar disorder and has been prescribed medication, but she sometimes chose to not to take it. Because Sherlin's disorder was poorly controlled, she often experienced bouts of severe depression and would often angrily lash out at the people in her life, including her husband. Therefore, their marriage was under a great deal of stress.
And the husband also was suffering from his own problems because of a car accident which he had in 2003, which left him with a chronic back pain, and for various reasons as well, his mood was not the best.
Little Madison had started talking to an imaginary friend named Emily, and although it is considered completely normal for children to have imaginary friends, Sherlin believed Emily was actually a malevolent entity.
So for most of the time, the couple actually believed that they were very deep-spirited individuals, and they generally were confined to their homes most of the time.
Bobby too had developed a paranoia about the family being haunted by evil. Bobby was also planning on trying to exorcise the spirits in the home with the help of a copy of the Satanic Bible that he had purchased.
And Bobby and Sherilyn also had concerns, also believed that their house was invaded by dark spirits. So they actually called a local pastor in to voice out their concerns. So after this, we can see that a video went viral where Bobby and Sherilyn are seen walking back and forth around their pickup truck and loading items onto it, and they are just basically having a zombie-like trance where neither person appears to speak anything.
So, on the Investigation Discovery series Disappeared, a policeman interviewed for the show stated that the couple made about 20 trips back and forth, and they sometimes weren't carrying anything at all. At times, they stopped and stood in place with a vacant stare on their faces. The odd behavior witnessed in the surveillance video suggests the couple may have been on drugs.
So the surveillance video was not only the weird part of it, because we can also see that there was a lot of graffiti which was basically sprayed on the nearby storage containers in that area as well.
A friend of Sherlin's told the police that she sometimes conducted CNS with Sherlin, though Sherlin took them much more seriously than she did. Sherlin's neighbors found the behavior extremely off putting and they avoided the Jamison family like the plague.
So we can clearly see that there were a lot of leads and a lot of evidences in this scene, but none of them pointed to anything conclusive. So this case literally became a dead end. There was no possible conclusions you could draw from the given evidences also. And the autopsies also did not provide any kind of answers, because the bodies were so badly decomposed and there was no soft tissues present, and the animals oddly had nibbled down on these bodies. So the cause of the death could never be actually determined. So I think we'd like to move on now to the theories, or rather the explanations which we have, which might support the actual mystery behind this event. So Krishna, what do you think is the big mystery behind this event?
So, according to me, my theory is that they have been involved in the drug dealing, as it is clearly mentioned in the various parts of the story, and they even $32,000 in cash was found in their truck when they went missing, and this adds up to the reason why they were behaving like that, and since they were in drugs, I think they unknowingly took their daughter to such a place, and the incident happened. So their drug dealing is something that is reasonable for this incident.
So I think my theory would be that Bobby's father, who's Bobby Dean Jamison, which we'll now refer to as Bobby's dad for most of the time, was actually not a very nice guy, or rather he didn't have the best kind of characteristics or appearances for a father, because Bobby and Shellen also filed a protective order against him, because apparently they had claimed that Bobby's father was not a kind of like a good person, or rather he was a very shady person who had a lot of very shady business dealings also. And we can also see that in the protective order, which was ordered by Bobby and Sherilyn, we can see that Bobby had alleged that his father was a very dangerous man, and he thinks he's above the law, and also he was involved in a lot of shady businesses like the prostitutes, gangs, and meth also. And according to Bobby, his dad actually hit him with his car on November 1 of 2008. But the fact where this theory kind of fails or kind of does not make sense is that Bobby's father actually died 2 months after the family went missing, and he was also in very bad health for quite some time, I think. So people are kind of wondering how could his dad be the reason for this family being butchered or being murdered or being basically lost. But I think it could not be a direct link, just like the father killing his son. Maybe since his father had a lot of contacts, especially there were also rumors that he had connections to the Mexican mafia as well. So we can fairly assume that Bobby's father had some very good relations or very good hitmen to basically take out the family. But the real reason for this is still now unknown, and it is yet to be figured out, I think. Yeah. So that will be the end of this podcast, guys. Thank you so much for listening to it. So if you have any kind of criticism, comments, or suggestions, please drop it in the comment section down below. So we'll see you in the next episode, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.